I have always known that some of my ancestors are from China. Even though I don't really have that characteristic almond eye shape, some people in my family do. In my family history and a DNA test from Ancestry.org can confirm that I am in fact 12% Chinese. In Peru and in most countries of Latin America, people have two last names, your dad's and your mom's. I always knew that my great-grandfather had been born in China, but it wasn't until now that I got to know his life story. Today, I present to you Julian Chang.
Buenas tardes.
I have an uncle named Julio Cesar, a historian who made a lot of research about our family. Him and my grandpa told me everything I know about great-grandpa Julian. Julian was born in China, somewhere between the years 1890 and 1895. He had three other siblings, Jacinto, Teodoro, and Domingo. They lived in Guangzhou, about 2 hours north from the Pearl River in China. Because of the work and lack of opportunities, and the one-child policy in China, it's that Jacinto and Julian decided to move to Peru. Why Peru? Well, they had cousins that were already living in Peru, and these cousins told them that life in Peru was good, so they decided to go. They arrived at Locumba, a town in the Tacna region in southern Peru. The cousins owned a grocery store, so then later they invited Julian and Jacinto to join them in the business. At that time in Peru, the government was doing construction because they were trying to change the roads into highways. So Julian and Jacinto had to move from the city they were in to Ica. Once in Ica, they established again and they put another grocery store. And it is while working at this store that Julian meets Margarita, my grandpa's mom, his future wife. They had 5 children. Yolanda, born in 1927, Julio, born in 1928, Ricardo, my grandpa, born in 1930, Hector, born in 1932, and finally Raúl, born in 1937. Uncle Julio Cesar said that great-grandpa Julian actually had another son in China before he moved to Peru, so with another woman. And that son actually stayed in China. He didn't go to Peru. My grandpa said his dad would take pictures of the family to send those to the other son that was still in China so that he could meet his siblings. Living in Ica is that my great-grandpa Julian met this guy named Ismael Benavides de la Quintana, who was the owner of a really big farm. And this is why in the future, all of Julian's sons work at this farm, including my grandpa. I obviously didn't get to meet my great-grandpa. My mom didn't either. He died in the year 1960. He was buried in Ica in the Saraja Cemetery. My uncle Julio Cesar said that a Chinese tradition was to be buried in the place where you were born. Since they couldn't go back to China, what they did is just try to be buried with other Chinese people because that was the closest they could get to being buried in China. And yeah, that's his life story. It was really interesting to learn about him because I really didn't know anything but that he was born in China. So it was fun to talk to my grandpa. Actually, I didn't know this uncle I called, so I got to know him too a little bit. And yeah, it was really a nice experience, and I hope that one day I get to go to China and see the place where my family's from.